The story of David and Bathsheba, of course, is a cautionary tale to any man or woman who looks beyond their grasp for greener pastures. David, of course, was supposed to be going out to war with his troops, yet he was on the roof and looked over and saw a very beautiful woman taking a bath. And even though he knew that that was one of his great mighty warriors, one of his great mighty warriors' wives, he still decided to bring her over and have sex with her, pray over her, and pretend like nothing happened. Of course, she got pregnant, and then things started to go awry for David. He had to come up with a plan. He brought Uriah from the front and tried to have him drink and eat and get comfortable and go home and sleep with his wife so that he would think he was the one who got her pregnant. It didn't work. So David's next plan was to have Uriah eliminated at the battlefront, which he did. Well, thinking that he got everything worked out, and I guess his relationship with God was such he could get away with such a horrible act, David was comfortably waiting around, ready to live his life, when Nathan the prophet shows up, tells him a story about a rich man who had many, many sheep, and was bringing in someone to impress them, and instead of slaughtering one of his own sheep, took a sheep from someone who was very poor, who loved their sheep. It was their only one, and he killed that sheep and gave it instead to the man as their food. And David was upset, and he said that man should be killed, blah blah blah. And Nathan said, "You are that man. You're the one who has done this thing." But what I find most interesting in all of this is that, yes, God exposed David. He allowed him to see the sin in his heart, which we should always be grateful, because there are times, Psalms, tells us in Psalms 19 to Father, guard us from presumptuous sins, from presuming that some of the things that we do because of our relationship with the Lord could be okay. We need to guard against presumptuous sins. But one of the most interesting things that Nathan says, because he tells him, God's telling him what's going to happen, what the repercussions are going to be. And David says to Nathan, "I have sinned against the Lord." And Nathan said to David, "The Lord has put away your sin. You shall not die. However, because of this deed, you have given great occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blasphemy." Man, when we open ourselves to sin, even though we have a good relationship with God, the enemy rejoices. They go to the Father and they say, "Look, there's your boy. Look what he did." Guard your heart, guard your mind, guard your actions, because the Lord wants you to be faithful.